Alrighty, Vanessa, so you're gonna have 2 minutes to do your speech, and once the 2 minutes is over, I'm gonna raise my hand and say time, and you can begin your speech, or I'm gonna start the timer whenever you begin speaking, and then we're gonna move on to the questions after that, but whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and get started.
I'm sorry, Nina, sorry to interrupt. I haven't been assigning into a...
Oh, thank you so much for that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, there she goes. All right, Vanessa, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and get started.
Alrighty, thank you. Hola familia, my name is Vanessa Garcia. I'm a sophomore studying chemical engineering and I'm running for the communications director position. This is my second semester with SHEP and I've already learned so much and really appreciate the encouragement and support of the other members. I want to run for this position because it is the position that best fits my interests and hobbies. It's an opportunity to use my artistic skills and professional skills that I've developed over the past year and to pay it forward by becoming a leader in SHEP. I have experience with managing multiple accounts on social media, such as my art account, and I'm familiar with other platforms and have a good eye for what looks good. As always, there's always room for improvement. If elected, I hope to be able to diversify the current content a bit more, expand our name to more platforms such as Snapchat and TikTok, and have a little bit more online social engagement by having giveaways, shoutouts, and more collaborations with the media chair, especially since we're going to be in person in the fall. Since I have a little bit of a photography background, I think that the media chair and I would work well in trying to show the world who SHEP is and what we do by having more visuals to display on flyers, social media, and our website gallery. By doing this, it'll hopefully encourage more members to join. All in all, it's all about using the best marketing strategies such as clarity of the information, promotion, and look of the ad in order to effectively communicate to our members about current and future events to develop our chapter as a whole. Since I'm currently co-oping and going to school, I have developed great organizational skills and know how to manage my time correctly in order to get things done. It's key to have things sent out in a timely manner and frequent reminders since we are students and get caught up in our studies. And in this position, I hope to be able to accomplish those things by having your vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Vanessa, for your speech. Great job. And now we're gonna have Cindy or Andres ask you some questions.
Yes, Vanessa, good speech. My question is around your specific target audience that you have as a chapter for SHEP. So you know that that marketing can be used to attract new members, it can be used to inspire current members, or it can be used for companies to vet us on whether or not they want to sponsor us or not. What is your plan on balancing these three audiences and communicating and promoting the right content to them?
All right, thank you. So of course we have to acknowledge like what kind of audience we have. So I know from listening to a panel the other day from the e-board that the secretary takes care of what kind of audience do we have. And not only that, by statistic numbers, but getting to know the familia, who we are. We have people with different interests, different hobbies. And like you said, we have new members, we have current members, and we have alumni and members who are currently not as active as they used to be. We want to target them by focusing on those interests, and we can figure them out by doing polls and asking them during general meetings within our forums. Can I ask again, what was the second part of your question?
Yeah, how do you plan on balancing all the content on social media or just our online presence in order to tailor to all three of these audiences? And you added another one, which was alumni, but then there's also companies and sponsors.
Right. So for companies as well, so like currently I'm co-oping for Dow, so we have a website called Yammer, and so alumni and other people, they reach out by reposting these flyers, so we can communicate with our outreach or whoever speaks with companies. We can get them to be like, hey, can you speak to this company? Or I know somebody, since I network now that I have these connections, I can tell them, hey, I have this event coming up. Do you know who wants to volunteer for these events? Are you guys interested? Now, as for balancing them, an example would be creating an Excel sheet and figuring out how many events do I have here and there, making sure we have all these. And if there is an area that we're lacking, for example, in like the professional pillar, I can go to the professional chair and be like, hey, we need to make an event. We haven't done something like this in a while, and I can promote it on their website. Depending if, like, for example, if it's professional, I want to make sure that I expose it to LinkedIn, because that is more of a professional platform. Whereas if it is SHEP education, or if it's a social thing, we can post it on Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok, depending on what platform, and we can expose it to all of them, because not everybody has all of those platforms. So it's very important to expose it to all of them.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Vanessa, good job on your speech. Usually I'll ask what kind of initiatives or marketing techniques you are thinking about implementing, but you went over that, so thank you. My question is, I'm looking at your grades. So right now you have a 3.0 and you're a sophomore in chemical engineering, not the easiest engineering major to be in, right? Mm-hmm. So my question to you is, how do you plan to balance your schoolwork along with your tasks and responsibilities as communications director, and achieving the goals that you set for yourself in that role?
Right. So thank you for that question. So on a basic level, I simply just have a planner. So that's where I have my assignments, and I also have a calendar above me for my social events. And another thing too that I like to do is for example, if I were to get this position, and if it's something that's going to happen in 30 minutes, I'll just put in my reminders like, hey, remind yourself in 30 minutes to send out a reminder that this event is happening. Or another example I would have that I was thinking about is creating an Excel sheet with all the upcoming events and saying, okay, this is the day that it's going to come up. And how far ahead in advance do I have to let people know that this event is happening? Because that's very important, because if I don't send it out in enough amount of time, then people are not going to be there. So it's very important to have that attendance number as high as possible. I'm sorry, I forgot.
And then when it comes to your schoolwork, how are you going to be able to balance both?
Yeah, so I think that's more of a personal thing where my priorities are. So of course, I want to make sure that we get the information out to SHEP, that everybody's aware. But for school, since we are students, that should also come first. So if I was doing a normal week during school, I would have a set scheduled study time to, okay, here I'm going to study. During office hours, I'm going to make sure I try to get the most done that I can. And if I don't, I'm going to spend some extra time in the office time trying to get it done. And not only that, if I have midterms coming up, like, let's go ahead and get this done ahead of time, communicate with my peers who are also on the e-board, like, hey, do you have any upcoming events that you need me to announce? Let me know ahead of time so I can make sure I get that done for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Vanessa, now I'm going to ask you my own question for you. So as communications director, it is one of your responsibilities to market SHEP in a way that's going to increase membership. And now that it has been communicated to us that next semester might possibly be in person, how do you plan to promote SHEP on campus instead of just mainly using social media to extend our reach?
Right. So in person, we get that physical contact now. So we can go back to old style flyers. We can hang them up in the halls, given to professors, because that's how I was introduced to SHEP. My professor, she sent out, of course, electronically because I was online, but I'm pretty sure if it was in person, she would give us a flyer to those who were interested. So I think not only having it electronically, but to have it in person as well, to have it in your hand. Let's say you put it in your backpack and you're looking for a paper, you pull it out and you're like, oh, hey, I forgot about this event. So having it physically is also important. And not only that, like we were discussing earlier, it's everyone's job to be recruiting. So if I see someone that I think is could possibly be interested, or that I think that could benefit from a certain activity or program or something that's an event that's going on, I can tell them, hey, this is going on. If you're interested, let me know. Like, I'll send you the information and whatnot.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for your speech and for your questions. And now I'm going to go ahead and move you into a breakout room so that we can get on with our last candidate.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.